Good morning, everyone, and welcome to State of Events. I'm Matt Fowler.
And I'm Ashman Ram. Let's get to our top story. San Francisco is supposed to be a sanctuary city. So why are people still anxious about deportation?
Reporter Chloe Ortega is live in the studio to tell us more. Chloe?
Illegal immigrants are not the only ones concerned with deportation. Immigrants who are here legally are worried that their status in the U.S. may change under Trump's administration.
They are residents, they're legal residents. I heard they have had problems crossing the border, and it's scary. So that's why I just don't really feel like I want to go back and then try to cross the border, and I know what can happen.
Edna Ramirez is an immigrant who moved to the U.S. from Tijuana 11 years ago. Although she's here legally, she's concerned that her immigration status might change under the new immigration laws. She tells us why she moved here in the first place.
My mom decided to bring me here. There was a lot of violence and crime at that time, and she, as a single mother, she thought, well, if she goes to America, she will be safe.
Many immigrants, legal or not, feel safer staying in sanctuary cities. Ron Hayduck teaches political science in San Francisco State. He tells us the basics of how a sanctuary city works.
What they essentially mean is that the police departments, the local police departments, are not going to turn people over to the federal government, which has the agents that would then detain or deport people.
He also tells us the consequences.
The consequences are quite high. I mean, obviously the amounts of funds that could be potentially withheld are significant.
If you or someone you know needs support in dealing with the new immigration laws, you can go to the Dreams Resource Center on campus in Mary Park Hall, or you can find more information on the State of Events Facebook page. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Chloe. And a proposal to raise tuition at SF State is leaving some students wondering if they can still afford to stay a student.
State of Events reporter Michaela Walker is live on campus with the latest.
I'm at SF State, where students may soon have something else to add to their list of worries. Just in time to add to midterm stress, a proposal to raise tuition may have student stress levels on the rise. However, a group of students on campus is fighting back. Students for Equality Education, or SEQ, has the goal to shed light on tuition increase around CSUs. Sheba Bandiba is the lead organizer of SEQ and wants students to be informed about their tuitions.
For Students for Quality Education, more student organization that mobilizes students in opposition of the 5% tuition hike that's coming up.
Yes, there's no guarantee that financial aid will correspond with a tuition increase, so it will basically causing students to take out more loans, X, Y, and Z.
In an interview with the LA Times, CSU Chancellor Timothy P. White says, "A tuition increase is something none of us want to do. It is just something that would serve the bigger picture." Teachers at SF State also weigh in on the topic.
We're here to serve students, and it is my belief that we need to lower rather than raise tuition. This used to be a state that valued education, and it seems that we're moving in the other direction.
The proposal to raise tuition will take place in March. We will update you on the story as it develops. In San Francisco, I'm Michaela Walker, State of Events.
The daily grind that is college life is very stressful for many students. Life is hard enough without having to commute, but for some students, commuting, whether using public transportation or their own vehicle, is part of their daily reality.
It may be early this Tuesday morning, but as we can see here, parking may already be difficult, especially those who have to travel great distances just to get to school. This is what Junipero Street looks like by noon on a regular school day, filled with cars that reach all the way up to Sloat Boulevard. But for an East Bay native like Thomas Tran, coming to school means waking up before the sun even comes out.
Sometimes, if I actually want to dress up, do my hair, everything like that, upwards to about 5 a.m. So I'd sleep maybe 2 or 3 hours every night just to go to school.
The distance between driving from campus to home takes a long time, and sometimes the driving time needs to be planned out.
So time-wise, it depends on the traffic. Usually if I go in the morning, it takes maybe about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours just to get to campus.
Parking is a huge factor when driving to school. especially when the rates are $7 for a whole day and $4 for 1 to 2 hour parking.
Mostly I just don't want to pay for the parking, and it's just the fact that the parking lot gets really overcrowded, and I still hear stories about people getting their stuff broken into even in the parking lot.
But for other students like Gerson Benavides, they take their chances parking their car in the parking structure.
Do you park every day in the garage?
I have to. I usually get here a lot earlier because parking is just bad.
According to the SF State website, the university does offer parking permits for students who choose to park in the garage. Even though parking permits are offered to students, there is still only a limited number that is provided each semester.
I just buy the parking permit for $560. It's gone up. It just keeps going up every year.
Parking continues to be a constant struggle for students. Permits are sold, but on a first-come, first-served basis and at a limited number at the beginning of each semester. Parking on the street requires students to come early in the morning to get a decent space. From Junipero Street in San Francisco, Anna Marie Torrea, State of Events.
Governor Jerry Brown has declared $437 million in state emergency funds. The proclamation is designed to assist with flood coping, mudslides, and road and highway damages.
Cleanup efforts are underway in San Jose neighborhoods after last week's devastating floods. Areas near Coyote Creek are saddled with an estimated $70 million worth of damage. Residents are stuck going through polluted water, throwing away most of their belongings. State of Events reporter Tessa Kleinbell has more on the health concerns during cleanup.
It's been a week since Coyote Creek overflowed and devastated parts of San Jose neighborhoods, prompting mandatory evacuations.
They are being decontaminated because this is polluted water. It could be sewage coming up from the sewer pipes that are now underwater. It could be gasoline and motor oil from cars that are underwater.
The contaminated floodwater has since receded and cleanup is underway, many losing everything.
Can't come back to your own house, so it's a big loss.
That mud left behind has left sanitation concerns. Many residents worry about the health of their loved ones.
My main concern, make sure the health of my parents are in well standing at the moment.
Like many others, Jonathan Rascone covers his feet with trash bags to avoid the water while walking through his flooded house. Santa Clara County Health Officer Sarah Cody said in a press release, quote, floodwaters may contain raw sewage, animal waste, household chemical compounds, bacteria, and other potential contaminants. People should take every precaution to avoid illness or injury. The Santa Clara County Department of Environmental Health is providing health and safety guidelines for people returning to flooded areas. You can find that at ehinfo.org. Reporting in San Jose, I'm Tessa Kleinbell, State of Events.
Coming up, we'll show you the shocking moment at the Academy Awards, as well as the Bay Area native who made history.
And with spring training in full swing, we'll update you on everything A's, Giants, and all that good stuff with baseball down in Arizona.
And we'll show you the local reaction to Trump's ruling on transgender bathrooms when we return on State of Events.
They say this is garbage, useless, out of style. They say that this is obsolete, half forgotten, twice replaced, and then some. You are the re-originator, an innovator, the treasure hunter, master of uncharted territories and pioneered ideas, a voyager. No doubts to break outside the boundaries. You have no boundaries.
water, please. Don't forget to turn off the lights. Hey, that goes in the compost bin. Be sustainable. Be sustainable. Live sustainably.
Welcome back to State of Events. States can now decide if transgender students can use the bathroom matching their gender identity, but LGBT activists are calling this an act of discrimination, citing conservative states and their lack of support for the trans community. State of Events' Abene Clayton has more on the story.
Trans bathroom rights are an ongoing issue and include a case called Grimm versus Gloucester, where a trans teen sues his school board for the right to use the men's bathroom. But the Trump administration's stance on the issue is clear. This is a state and not a civil rights issue.
Shame on Trump! Protect trans students!
He believes in the state's ability to determine what's right for their state versus another state.
Trump voiced support for trans bathroom rights on the campaign trail last April.
People go, they use the bathroom that they feel is appropriate. There has been so little trouble.
Trans activists argue that this is a civil rights issue and is under the purview of the federal government.
Civil rights are not state issues, they're everyone issues, and if you leave civil rights up to the states, people will wait very, very extended amounts of time to get their rights.
The bathroom order was met with protests.
No hate, no fear. Trans students are welcome here.
And an offer for help from an unlikely source.
This is a disaster, and you can still fix it. You made a promise to protect the LGBTQ community. Call me.
Trump's pick for Supreme Court could be the tiebreaker if he's confirmed in time. The court's going to start hearing oral arguments in Grimm versus Gloucester beginning March 28th, and Neil Gorshin's confirmation hearing is going to be March 20th. So we'll see what happens. Reporting live, I'm Abene Clayton, State of Events. Back to you in the studio.
The White House banned several news organizations from a meeting with Sean Spicer this past Friday. These included The Guardian, The New York Times, Politico, CNN, BuzzFeed, the BBC, the Daily Mail, and others. Conservative media outlets like Breitbart News, the One America News Network, and the Washington Times were permitted, as well as ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox. President Trump reiterated that the media was, quote, the enemy of the American people. The session replaced Spicer's scheduled briefing. This is highly unusual for the White House to handpick organizations to attend their news briefings. Trump will be addressing Congress for the first time tonight at 6 p.m.
Now it is time to take you around the world.
Our reporter Majestic Bellany has the latest on this week's world news.
From mysterious assassinations to terrorist attacks, let's take a look at this week's world news.
The North Korean delegation canceled talks with the U.S. officials after the Trump administration withdrew approval of North Korean visas. This comes days after the mysterious assassination of Kim Jong-nam, the half-brother of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Thousands of Filipinos took to the streets to mark the anniversary of the 1986 uprising against Philippine dictator Ferdinand Marcos. The protest comes amid a surge of drug-related deaths allegedly authorized by current President Rodrigo Duterte. In Syria, 6 suicide attacks targeting 2 security centers in the regime-held central Syrian city, Homs, killed at least 32 people and wounded 24 others, according to state media. A Syrian organization who formerly had ties with al-Qaeda, Al-Sham Liberation, claimed responsibility for the attacks. A report in Cuba claims a former British inmate of Guantanamo Bay, Ronald Fiddler, carried out an ISIS attack in Iraq. This comes after the Trump administration stated to send caught ISIS affiliates to the prison.
And finally, the Trump administration announced to create more restrictions traveling to and from Cuba. Stay tuned to State of Events for more world news. Back to you, Ashman and Matt.
Coming up, we'll tell you how spending money might be playing into the hands of some online scammers.
Absolutely, and we take a closer look at the Oscar-winning film Moonlight when State of Events returns.
I saw a sleeping bear, a grizzly bear. It was sleeping behind a tree, and I saw a real coyote. planet's spinning and you can't see it spinning. Recycle things like boxes or something. And water helps the environment so everything can live. No waterfish could not live. I've been in the ocean. Or the beach. When I go to my grandma and grandpa's house, I can walk. Nothing would get water in our whole land. Throwing things away and using them again. The scraps we can make up. I like the planet. My future is now. My future is now. My future is now. My future is now. My future is now.
Personal growth, professional exposure. Child Family Health International. Let the world change you. For more info, visit cfhi.org.
Take a deep breath.
UCSF Valencia Health Services believes that spending quality time with our patients is the key to providing excellent health care.
It's time for a checkup. Okay, honey.
You spend time with your kids because you care about them. Well, so do we. Valencia Health Services' dedicated staff of nurse practitioners and pediatricians are here for your child's needs. Quality time, quality care. UCSF Valencia Health Services.
And in BizTech, Venmo, an easy way to pay between friends, has turned into a nightmare for some.
While Snapchat's new IPO has some investors cautious, State of Events reporter Uilani Gray joins us with the latest BizTech report.
Thank you. If you're over 34, you may not have heard of or have even used Venmo, but it's a money transferring app popular with millennials and now with online scammers.
Venmo has created an easy way to pay someone quickly, or so users thought. Scammers have found a loophole in the system, a 2-day delay in posted payments. The Better Business has reported several cases of fraud, from selling cars to football tickets. Users see the money in their account and then it's gone, payment canceled. Venmo is cautioning users that the app is meant to be used with people you know. Snap, the parent company to Snapchat, known for its disappearing messages, is going public. But some analysts are feeling like the stock is more of a long shot than a snap. The New York Times reported the company's debts exceed their profits, and the co-founders are holding voting control, trumping stockholders, making Snap unattractive for new investors. In technology, the Jetsons' flying car seemed out of this world, but a version of an aerial automobile may be in the near future. It's called the PAL V Liberty. It's part car, part gyrocopter. It goes from road to the sky in 15 minutes. The price tag is a whopping $399,000 and should be rolling out in 2018. Google teams up with H&M's digital fashion house, Ivy Revel, to create what they're calling a data dress. The project is based around an Android app that collects information about the things that users like. It then creates a dress using those likes specifically for that person. This app is in its first stages of testing.
We'll be updating our State of Events Facebook page with new developments on these stories. That's your BizTech for this week. I'm Uilani Gray. Back to you at the desk.
New films are shaking up San Francisco and dismantling stereotypes. Hidden Figures and Moonlight have proven to be very influential.
That's right, and the two films focus on the person of color narrative and challenging bias concepts against women of color and gay men of color. Dwayne Hibbert has the details.
According to Hollywood Weekly, Hidden Figures was the highest grossing Best Picture nominee, and Moonlight went home with Best Picture Oscar. Hidden Figures is a biographical film based on true events. It surrounds a team of African American women. They use their mathematical skills to lead NASA in a detrimental space mission, eliminating perceived ideas based on prejudices. Moonlight is a coming-of-age movie also based on true events. It dives into a life filled with drug addiction and vulnerability. Moonlight challenges the ideas of homosexuality in the Black community and creates a space for this untold story to be heard. The two films have an essential impact on how we perceive social oppression. According to SF Gate, both films gained prominent recognition from critics like the SF Film Society and the SF Films Critics Circle. The awards are piling up, and this isn't even counting the Oscars. Huffington Post says community leaders, teachers, fraternities, and sororities have been making it possible for underdeserved communities to see this movie. San Francisco is anything but unaware when it comes to challenging oppressive rhetoric. Both movies shine a spotlight on stories hidden in the dark and continue to spread awareness. In San Francisco, I'm Dwayne Hibbert, State of Events.
And the Oscars had some huge wins Sunday night, with La La Land taking home 6 awards. However, the big story was the shocking mistake for Best Picture, a first for the Academy, although they quickly compared it to the Miss Universe mishap. And an East Bay native makes history and takes home some gold. Vanessa Ariello has all the details on the jaw-dropping night.
The 2017 Oscars make history. All of Hollywood gathered together Sunday night to celebrate its most prestigious honor, that Golden Award. Viola Davis delivered a powerful speech for actress in a supporting role in Fences. She ends award season on a hot streak with this Oscars win. This win makes Davis the first Black actress to receive an Oscar, Emmy, and a Tony for acting. In her backstage speech, she talks about how she just wanted to be good at something as a kid.
And so this is sort of like the miracle of God, of dreaming big and just hoping that it sticks and it lands, and it did. Who knew? So, I'm overwhelmed.
This year's Oscars takes home the win for most awkward moment of history. The most sought-out-after award, Best Picture, was given mistakenly to La La Land. The production team began their speeches when it was announced that presenter Warren Beatty was handed the wrong envelope with Emma Stone's name on it.
There's a mistake. Moonlight, you guys won Best Picture.
Moonlight won. This is not a joke. This is not a joke. I'm afraid they read the wrong thing.
This is not a joke. Moonlight has won Best Picture. Moonlight, Best Picture.
Emma Stone stated that she had her title card with her the whole time. The internet had a lot of fun with the Oscar mistake, but it did not take away from the gracious moment the team from La La Land handed over the awards to the real winners, Moonlight.
Very clearly, even in my dreams, this could not be true. But to hell with dreams. I'm done with it, because this is true. Oh my goodness.
The big winner for the Bay Area was a win from Mahershala Ali for Best Supporting Actor in his role in Moonlight. Ali is the first Muslim to win an Oscar, and his wife just gave birth on Friday. The East Bay native delivered an emotional speech.
Wow. I want to thank my teachers, my professors. I had so many wonderful teachers, and
Ali got his start in a theater just like this one. For a complete list of winners, check out our Facebook page. In San Francisco, Vanessa Ariola, State of Events.
Bay Area native Mahershala Ali took home the Oscar for Best Actor in a Supporting Role at the 89th Annual Oscars last night. Ali is the first Muslim in history to win an award. He thanked Moonlight director Barry Jenkins for his support. Ali became a father just 4 days ago. This is a timely accomplishment considering the scrutiny that Muslims have been under lately. Moonlight won 6 awards on the night.
And when we return, we'll show you the electric start the Giants and A's had to kick off spring training.
When we return on State of Events.
When you give to Habitat for Humanity Greater San Francisco, you're providing an affordable housing solution, and so much more. Give to Habitat for Humanity Greater San Francisco today and make a difference in your community. Habitat for Humanity, building homes and hope in Marin, San Francisco, and the Peninsula.
When it's time to choose healthcare for your teen, you want the best. When it's time for your teen's questions to be answered, you want a professional you can trust. At Valencia Health Services, your time is well spent. We provide professional, quality healthcare. Valencia Health Services, dedicating quality time to professional healthcare because your teen's health is our first priority. Valencia Health Services, quality time because we care.
Well, Ashman, we've covered a lot of serious things today, but let's get into some fun things.
Yes, we have. We have Katie here with us today. Katie, tell us the latest.
Well, guys, baseball is officially back as the Major League Spring Training is officially underway for the 2017 season in Arizona, where exhibition games started over the weekend and things got hot and heavy for the Cactus League as the Oakland A's and San Francisco Giants faced off yesterday in Mesa.
So there's a liner into right center field.
Yesterday, the Giants hosted their Bay Area rivals, with pitcher Kendall Graveman having the start for the Athletics. Giants' Christian Arroyo made a big play as he tied the game at 4 with a 2-run single in the 7th inning that scored Michael Morse and Juanel Horikudo. Though the A's took the win 5-4, the Orange and Black's bullpen is expecting big things in 2017 from second-year veteran Jeff Samardzija, who threw for 203 innings with a 3.81 ERA and 32 starts last year with San Francisco. Meanwhile, Madison Bumgarner is looking forward to getting back into the swing of things at this year's spring training.
I was ready to get back to it this year. Seemed like we were, I had a good winter, good break, and I relaxed, didn't really go anywhere and do much. So, I was looking forward to getting back out here and getting started.
Bumgarner will start in his second spring outing today against the Padres, while the A's take on Cleveland at Camelback Ranch. Now let's send it back to sports reporter Justin McCarthy in Studio 3. Justin?
The NFL is in the midst of yet another lawsuit from its cheerleaders over unequal wages. Of the 32 NFL teams, 26 have cheerleaders who are all earning as little as $1,000 a year.
There is much a part of the NFL as touchdowns and tailgating, but a group of NFL cheerleaders are calling a timeout. A lawsuit claims cheerleaders receive a flat per-game fee, but aren't paid for rehearsal or mandatory community events, all while cheerleaders even pay for their own uniforms, photo shoots, and have reported having their pay withheld to the end of the season. Lead plaintiff, going by Jane Doe, said when cheering for the 49ers in 2013 and 14, she was also forced to work at a pizza parlor just to make ends meet.
The cheerleading life looks quite glamorous, but I think once they see the number that's actually attached to that, it's not what you would think at all.
Comparatively, the suit shows that mascots make between $25,000 and $65,000 a year with benefits, and players are combining to make $6.4 billion just in salary. Now, these female athletes have made it clear they don't want to be paid like the players, they just want a livable wage.
Now, the NFL must ask itself why it pays their male athletes millions of dollars to showcase their talents, while the female athletes alongside them must sling pizza just for the privilege. I'm Justin McCarthy, State of Events in Studio 3. Back to you, Katie.
Well, thanks everybody for joining us, and just keeping in mind with sports, SF State has a pretty big game tonight, taking on Cal State LA in the first round of the CCAA playoffs. I have to run because I'm going to be calling the game, and it's been fun with you two.
Thank you so much, Matt. That's right, go Gators. Thank you all for joining us with State of Events today. Have a good evening.